The year is 1988, and in Slovenia, a young girl clips photos from banned Western magazines, her eyes fixed on a world beyond left-wing borders. Those glossy pages would become her roadmap, a beacon guiding her toward a future far removed from the factories her peers were destined for. She dreamed of a life beyond continents and social classes, a life where beauty was more than just a fleeting asset. Milan taught her how to walk runways, but more importantly, how to navigate a world where beauty alone wasn't enough. Paris showed her the difference between glamour and true sophistication. By the time she reached New York, she had transformed from Melania Trump to Melania Trump, her youthful dreams crystallizing into a blueprint for success. Fast forward to 2024, and that same girl now moves through a world where Air Force One is her usual mode of transport, and the most exclusive dinners are just another Tuesday night. Today we explore how Melania Trump's journey from a small-town girl to billionaire president's wife transcends the typical rags-to-riches tale. This is the story of a woman who turned modeling contracts into business empires, fashion spreads into political influence, and perceived silence into quiet power. In 2024, Melania Trump's personal fortune stands at $50 million, a figure that would impress anyone except her husband, who's $6. $5 billion net worth makes her millions seem like pocket change. Her wealth, however, is no accident. It's the result of a calculated career path that began in front of cameras for Vogue, Vanity Fair, and GQ, then expanded into selling jewelry on QVC and convincing affluent women that caviar belonged on their faces rather than their plates. These ventures, though now dormant, proved far more lucrative than the typical modeling side hustle. Today, Melania's personal assets read like a dictionary entry for luxury. The crown jewel is her $3 million engagement ring, featuring a 25-carat diamond so large it likely has its own gravitational pull. Her jewelry collection could make Cartier's display cases look understocked, and her Vacheron Constantin watch costs more than most people spend on their cars and homes combined. When combined with Donald's assets, the numbers become staggering. Mar-a-Lago, their Florida home and members club, raked in $56 million last year alone, proving that charging exorbitant prices for dinner doesn't deter the wealthy. Their golf empire, including the Trump National Doral, which pulled in $160 million, shows that golf can indeed be profitable, just not for most of us. The Bedminster Club added another $37 million to the family coffers. Yet, despite managing wealth that could buy a small country, Melania maintains a notably low profile. When not performing First Lady duties, she embraces her role as a hands-on mother to Barron, juggling time between New York, Florida, and D.C. Her Be Best initiative focuses on child welfare, though one imagines her charitable donations might arrive in slightly nicer envelopes than most. Melania's journey from Eastern European model to American billionaire's wife with her own millions might sound like a Netflix series pitch, but to understand how she engineered this transformation, we must return to a small industrial town in Yugoslavia, where designer labels were as rare as winning lottery tickets. In 1970, as the industrial town of Sevnica stirred to life under Yugoslavia's faltering communist rule, Melania Trump was born into a world of modest possibilities. Her surname, of German origin, had evolved into its Slavic variant, Knavs, through generations of Central European migration and cultural blending. Her father, Victor, began his working life as a chauffeur before transitioning to a traveling salesman for a state-owned car company. Her mother, Amalia, whose skilled hands would later influence her daughter's appreciation for fashion, worked as a pattern maker at Jutrinka, a children's clothing manufacturer. Their apartment in one of Sevnica's concrete residential blocks was typical of Yugoslavia's working class, comfortable by the standards of the time but far from luxurious. Yugoslavia's unique position between East and West allowed its citizens greater freedoms than those behind the Iron Curtain. Western magazines circulated discreetly in Sevnica, and foreign travel, while not common, wasn't forbidden. Young Melania absorbed these influences, developing an early fascination with the fashion magazines her mother brought home from work. In school, Melania distinguished herself through determination rather than privilege. She mastered Slovenian and German before adding English, French, and Italian to her repertoire. While her peers dreamed of local success, she pored over Western fashion magazines, sketching designs in notebooks between classes. Transformation. The capital city, with its mix of socialist architecture and Baroque splendor, offered glimpses of the Western world she yearned to join. Her natural height and striking looks caught attention, most notably from photographer Stane Jurko, who spotted the teenager on the street and recognized her potential. As the 1980s drew to a close and Yugoslavia began its gradual dissolution, Melania's path diverged from her peers. While they prepared for conventional careers in Sevnica's factories and offices, she began appearing in local fashion shows and building a modest portfolio. The concrete buildings of her childhood began to feel like constraints rather than homes. But the leap from Ljubljana's small modeling scene to international fashion required more than just ambition. It demanded a complete reinvention. At 16, Melania's first modeling assignments in Slovenia marked the beginning of a meteoric rise through fashion's competitive ranks. By 18, she had signed with a Milan agency, transforming herself from Melania of Sevnica to Melania of the international runway. The early 1990s saw her building a solid reputation across Europe. She shared cramped Milan apartments with other aspiring models, while learning the business side of the industry, negotiating rates, managing her schedule, and navigating the complex politics of casting calls. Her work ethic set her apart from peers who relied solely on looks, leading to steady commercial work in both Milan and Paris. It was in Paris that a pivotal connection emerged. Paolo Zampoli, co-owner of Metropolitan Models, saw potential beyond her portfolio shots. He offered her representation in New York, where the fashion industry's appetite for Eastern European models was growing. In 1996, armed with Zampoli's guidance and her own determination, she made the move to Manhattan. The New York fashion scene opened new doors. Through Zampoli's social connections, she began attending high-profile events that merged modeling with networking. At a New York Fashion Week party at the Kit Kat Club in 1998, she met Donald Trump. Despite his arrival with another date, he pursued Melania relentlessly. Their first date at Mumbai a week later launched a relationship that would transform both their lives. Post-millennium, Melania began exploring business ventures beyond modeling. In 2009, she launched a jewelry collection on QVC, successfully blending affordable prices with luxury design elements. In 2011, she developed Melania Caviar Complex C6, an ambitious skincare line, though legal complications prevented its full launch. The venture showcased her growing business acumen. Marrying Donald Trump in 2005 elevated her public profile, but few could have predicted how dramatically her life would change when her husband stepped onto that Trump Tower escalator in 2015. The decade between their wedding and his presidential announcement had prepared her for public scrutiny, but nothing could have fully readied her for what came next. The transition from Trump Tower penthouse to White House residence marked the most dramatic shift in Melania's carefully constructed world. Her first months as First Lady challenged traditional protocols. She remained in New York until Barron completed his school year, a decision that cost taxpayers approximately $130,000 per day in security, but underscored her stated priority of motherhood over political obligations. When she did assume her official duties, Melania brought the same measured approach that had served her in business. Her Be Best initiative, launched in May 2018, focused on children's well-being, online safety, and opioid abuse. The program garnered both praise and criticism, particularly regarding its anti-cyberbullying component, which some viewed as ironic given the broader political context. The East Wing under Melania operated distinctly from the West Wing. She maintained a smaller staff than her predecessors, but ensured key positions were filled by loyal personnel. Her communications director, Stephanie Grisham, became known for fiercely protecting Melania's privacy while maintaining her public image. Certain moments during her tenure sparked intense public interest. The footage of her appearing to avoid holding Donald's hand in Israel, her decision to wear a jacket emblazoned with "I really don't care, do you?" while visiting migrant children, and her subdued campaign appearances all generated widespread media coverage and speculation about her mindset. By the time the Trumps left Washington in January 2021, Melania had carved out a unique approach to her role as First Lady, one that emphasized privacy and selective engagement over traditional visibility. Her tenure sparked discussions about the evolving nature of the First Lady's role in modern American politics. The end of the Trump administration didn't signal Melania's retreat from public life. A new chapter was beginning, one that would test her ability to balance family obligations with personal aspirations. In 2024, Melania Trump remains a unique figure in American history, the First Lady born in a communist country, though she immigrated from Slovenia long after its transition from communism. From Mar-a-Lago's gilded halls, she has crafted a distinctive post-White House presence, balancing privacy with selective public engagements in a way that continues to intrigue both supporters and critics. Her entrepreneurial ventures since leaving Washington have drawn particular attention. The launch of her NFT platform in 2021 generated significant media coverage, with the digital artworks featuring aspects of her White House tenure. Her October 2024 memoir promises even greater insights, offering her first direct account of life in the White House and previously undisclosed perspectives on her role in key moments of the Trump administration. Unlike her predecessors, who typically embraced ongoing public roles after leaving office, Michelle Obama focusing on educational initiatives, Laura Bush on literacy, and Hillary Clinton launching a political career, Melania has maintained the selective approach that characterized her time as First Lady. She continues her advocacy for children's causes, advancing the mission of her Be Best initiative while adapting its focus for private citizenship. The program's emphasis on cyberbullying and online safety has taken on new relevance in an era of increasing digital threats. Her impact on the institution of First Lady defies simple analysis. Rather than conforming to traditional expectations, she demonstrated that the role could accommodate different approaches to public engagement and personal privacy. Her tenure challenged long-held assumptions about the obligations and boundaries of presidential spouses, particularly regarding the balance between public duty and personal freedom. The arc from Sevnica to Mar-a-Lago encompasses more than just geographic distance. It traces the evolution of a woman who transformed modeling success into global prominence. While debates continue about her choices in public life, her journey from Eastern Europe to the White House exemplifies a distinctive adaptation of the American immigrant experience. Her story has resonated particularly strongly with first-generation Americans, who see in her journey a reflection of their own aspirations. Now, with Donald Trump's official 2024 campaign underway, Melania prepares for a return to the White House in January 2025. Her second chapter as First Lady will test whether her unique approach to the role can evolve while maintaining the independence that has defined her public life. The coming years will determine whether her legacy represents a lasting shift in how future First Ladies approach this highly visible role. Those who have worked closely with her suggest that Melania's second term as First Lady will likely feature a more confident, polished approach to the role, though still on her own terms. Her ability to maintain privacy while occupying the most public of positions has become her trademark, a skill that may prove even more valuable in an era of increasing media scrutiny and political polarization. And now, we'd like to hear from you. What is your assessment of Melania Trump? Has she done, and will she do, a great job as First Lady, or is she secretly more controversial than we think? Let us know your thoughts below. With that said, thank you for joining us for another tale of old money, luxury, and legacy. Until next time. As we conclude this narrative, the journey of Melania Trump continues to unfold. Her story remains a captivating blend of resilience, ambition, and the evolving role of women in politics. The path ahead for Melania continues to be shaped by her choices, experiences, and the expectations of a nation. As she navigates this new phase, her influence and engagement will resonate through the sphere of American public life. Each chapter of her life adds to the complex narrative she is weaving, both personally and politically. Her voice continues to inspire discussions about the roles and responsibilities of modern women in leadership. Through her various engagements, she exemplifies the values of unity and collaboration among different communities. Her efforts to support the next generation highlight her ongoing commitment to education and cultural enrichment. By addressing crucial issues like mental health, she continues to contribute meaningfully to public discourse. Her involvement in these dialogues reflects her desire to be an informed and proactive advocate for important social issues. By connecting with communities directly, she demonstrates the importance of grassroots engagement in effecting positive change.